But if you're donating $5, hey, whatever.
At least $5.
At least $5. Okay, so now that we've gotten through all the great donation stuff, let's talk about what we're here for.
X-Men.
We just saw
Days
X-Men.
of Futures Past. Oh, wait.
No,
many freaking X-Men movies.
we just saw X-Men Apocalypse, hence the figure on the table here. Yeah. Move this back a little bit.
The more
here.
medicine figure than Oscar Isaac and Blue Paint.
Okay, so let's first do, because we always kind of do this, we'll do a normal non-spoiler review of what we thought, and then we'll go into full spoiler territory and we'll warn everybody.
Okay.
So first things first. What did you guys think?
Are we gonna do the standard?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, standard review. So thumbs up is a great movie. Thumbs to the side is a good movie, and thumbs down is a bad movie. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, all the same.
All right, it was all good.
All to the side. So all of us thought it was a good movie, not a great movie. And that great movie. I mean, it's gotta be a great. Well,
movie.
we'll talk about this, but where do you guys, in further detail, but where does it fall in the pantheon of the X-Men movies? I mean, what's the best one?
How many of them are in those?
8. No, this is the 8th one.
Are you counting the Wolverine movies?
Yeah, so there's 3, the original 3, then the 2 Wolverines. Then you have Days of Future Past, First Class. This is the 8th one.
Okay, wow.
And technically, I mean, Deadpool technically is in the universe, but I'm not going to count that as an X-Men
movie. I would
movie.
barely even count the Wolverines.
Well, it's all canon.
Yeah, the Wolverine movies are canon to this universe. I don't think.
Hey, buddy, you're the X-Men guy. You're supposed to care.
No, I'm just saying they're not like. I mean, Wolverine side.
I mean, X-Men 3: The Last Stand, obviously my favorite.
No, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was like, that's.
They did make a kind of joke in the movie.
Oh,
like
they make some. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil that. But they make that's a great joke in the movie. Don't spoil that. But there's some. They make some internal jokes about all the meta stuff. But I think for me, this movie kind of falls below First Class and Days of Future Past. It's better, I think, than it's probably lower than even X2. I think that's probably the best of the original 3.
What? Do you know like the first one? I like the first.
The first one's
really good.
I haven't seen it.
Sets the stage just for superhero movies in general.
Yeah,
and Spider-Man were like setting the bar
for sure.
But I still think it's better than that first one, just from I haven't watched it in a long time. But the thing about this movie that was it's a great popcorn movie. Does that make sense?
It's a very fun movie.
It's a fun movie. Like it doesn't take itself too serious.
Don't think too much about it. Just go in, get a thing of popcorn, get a Coke.
But the bigger
Pepsi Cola.
Yeah, the big thing that I had a problem with is it's paint by numbers. I mean, there's not a lot of like twists and turns. I mean, I guess
everything that happened in the movie in like the later act, the climax, you saw it coming from a mile away. Yeah,
but it's still an enjoyable romp through the X-Men universe. They show some of the
nerd service.
Yeah, definitely some nerd service. I always enjoy. We talk about this. So I always enjoy seeing the characters learn their powers in unique and fun ways. Those are always cool, and they do that in this movie.
Yeah, kind of.
When?
With Cyclops and different things like that. Yeah, so there's some cool stuff with that. And it's also interesting that they kind of, the one thing about X-Men and just Marvel in general, everybody's brother, sister, mother, daughter, right. And they actually do a good job of balancing that without it being like forced, or
really?
hamstrung. You know what I mean? Like everyone's, they're all connected because it's like, mutant gene follows. Remember they talked about that in one of the earlier movies. But the special effects, I actually liked Apocalypse. All things aside, I enjoyed the character.
His nose bothered me a little bit. I don't know why.
Oh, the actual the
his
makeup?
His nose just looked too big.
He does not look like Poe Dameron, man. They did a good job. Yeah. At no point was I like, that's Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, obviously the very beginning where he's naked, that part. And then there's a couple of scenes where I'm like, okay, I could see Oscar Isaac. But yeah, generally you don't really see him. A lot of prosthetics and paint.
I would say some of these new mutants that are, featured in this movie, well, not new, but some that are younger versions. Well, they're all younger versions, but just some of the mutants, as far as the ones that are you want to see, they kind of you don't get to see them. This movie is chock full of characters that but you don't know this version of it, which is frustrating.
I felt like they left a lot of unused. I don't want to spoil it too much, but the favorite character I was looking forward to seing, like they kind of gloss over stuff. Yeah,
there's just too much in the movie to really dive into these characters, and it's unfortunate, but what are you gonna do?
So I think for me, I would definitely tell people go see it. I think it was definitely enjoyable. I think obviously with the mixed reviews that it's already gotten, you talked about this, the expectations were a little bit lowered, and I think that actually might have helped
around 51-52% Rotten.
I think it's better than that for sure.
I think it is too.
I would give it like a solid B, a B plus even. As far as I think it's,
I mean, you're putting this on a scale of like all movies.
Like if you look at like Days of Future Past and stuff, that was way better to me.
Me too. But I would say those are like
First Class was way better.
We talked about this. We're kind of tired of J-Law, Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh my God, Jennifer Lawrence. She was probably the worst part about this movie for me.
I actually don't mind her as a character, but it's because she's playing the same character and almost...
Stop leading young kids into battle. It was so overseen.
She even seemed over it, though.
No, her acting in the movie, she was phoning it in pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, she was just kind of like, okay.
Guys, we have to bet we're X-Men. Okay?
It's pretty bad.
It didn't seem like she cared at all.
And so for me, I think it's interesting. There are some characters some people in this movie that steal the show, and they should have been featured more. I think we'll talk about that in more detail.
I mean, everyone, if you've seen Days of Future Past, you know Quicksilver.
He steals,
his scene, just like in Days of Future Past, steals the show in this movie.
So there's a lot of cool stuff they do. Like I said, a lot of the mutant powers are very cool. And, this movie, more than maybe some other like X-Men movies, and maybe it's just because technology has advanced that far, you get to see like the superpowers, like in their superest power moments. You know what I mean? Like, it's not this... we're going to show you that one time and not really, and it's going to be real quick, and you're not going to, it's going to look cool.
Flash away from
the
camera moves really fast. You know what I don't understand is you're right. The graphics look great for their superpower usage, but then like the graphics for like going around the tomb and like the opening credits and scenes and stuff looks like
it's a callback to all the X-Men movies though.
I know, but I didn't mind that. I do it in such a, it reminds me of like the Aladdin scene where they're like flying away from the lava. Like it looks so bad, and I'm like, we're in 2016.
That's the title crawl. Yeah, the opening title crawl is so bad.
I didn't mean that, or I didn't mind that, just because it is a callback to all the other. It had the stupid Cerebro door closed, and I'm like, oh, it's an X-Men movie.
That's the only part that looked good was the Cerebro door. I don't know. It just looks bad. There were several parts in the movie whenever they do that, like the camera's moving deep into something and going around, it just looks horrible. It's like, why? It doesn't need to look horrible. Like, spend a little bit more money. Like, fix that. Get somebody.
And it's at the very beginning of your movie. I will say the one thing, speaking of callbacks, I think this movie started to bother me with the amount of callbacks and the amount of used footage from the original or the older movies.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, we get it.
Yeah,
like we know about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Especially
like, there's a whole bunch of stuff where it's just like, stop going back, and you don't have to re-record it or show something in between. That would have been interesting. Some kind of interaction between those last movies and this current movie. Don't just show me footage from your old movies. That probably accounted, I want to know if you added it up, maybe like 10 minutes. I mean, I know doesn't sound like a lot of time, but it's cut up and it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's already so much we need to get to. Stop showing me old stuff. And I get that they've got to, you got to be able to.
There's an audience out there that's never seen those movies.
Well, go see it. What are you doing?
They're like little kids when they came out. Not old enough for a PG-13.
But generally, I would say go see it. But it's not as good as the last two that came out.
For sure. Not as good.
Agreed.
Yeah, it has to do with a little bit of the villain. If you make them too powerful, like, it's always the villain. It's like
we were talking about this in the car. It's like Ultron,
Yeah.
You run into a problem when they're so powerful. The stakes kind of get lost in that. You're like,
yeah, it was just too much. And then, I can't say anything without spoiling.
Yeah, we'll get to that right now. Okay. So that's our non-spoiler review.
Go see it. It's great.
Go see it. All right. Now we're entering spoiler territory. You have been warned. If you have not seen the movie, go watch it. Come back. Listen to our spoiler review. Let's get into it.